Hello, my friends. It's so nice to see you here. I just want to take a little walk through of the syllabus to point out some important pieces of information. Of course, you can always email me with any questions you have about the contents of the syllabus, errors in the syllabus, or any problems, concerns that you might have. So let's take a look. First of all, I want to start off by saying that there are two separate syllabi, one for those taking the undergraduate version of the course and those taking the graduate version, 4486 and 6686. They're a little bit different, but I'm going to show you, this is actually the graduate student version. So I can point out something that might be different. Okay, so the first course in this endorsement sequence was the characteristics of learners with autism spectrum disorder. And you got a little taste of some strategies or some things you can do to support learners on the autism spectrum. But this is all going to be about best practices for teaching, assessing, planning, etc. Okay, so get ready. All right, so you can read here the course description. You can also see that I'll be available from 3 to 5 on Tuesdays or by an appointment. So get on Canvas, get on and send me a message, and I should be pretty readily available on Tuesdays. However, you can make an appointment with me. I'm around all week during the weeks, and I'm happy to help you. We can do it online if you don't want to have to drive to campus. I completely understand, so I'm very willing to work with you. Here are your two textbooks that are required for the course, and our course outcomes. There's a little bit, you need to look at your specific syllabus for your specific outcomes, because there's a little bit different in terms of the depth and rigor for graduate students. Okay, so this is an online course. It's going to be set up similar to how you've had the online courses with me in the past, where you can get a week ahead. If you complete a module, the next module will be available to you up to a week early. So I do want you to be active in the course. That's why you can't do it all at the beginning or wait until the end, because I want people to be active in discussions and be somewhat together as a class, especially if there are some items that we cover as a group. Okay, so the assignments are described in here. Late work is only accepted if it's been prearranged with me, so you need to let me know up front if there are going to be any problems with you getting work submitted on time. We do have field experiences in this course again, and you are having to ultimately put your field experience documentation in your Canvas e-portfolio that you most likely set up in your first course in the sequence, if it was this summer. If you took the first course prior to this summer, you may not have your e-portfolio set up. So please do go into Canvas and set yourself up an e-portfolio. It's really just a holding tank for your field experience. The Professional Standards Commission is expecting a certain number of field experience hours documented. And this way I can keep and track them across the 3 courses, and we can recommend you for your endorsement if it's completed by the end. So there's a specific form that you're going to type all of your field experience commentary into, and then once you get feedback and you're happy with them, you're putting them in your e-portfolio. There's a link here that can explain to you as a tutorial how to use Canvas's e-portfolio. Okay, so this course basically is a lot of activities, discussion, and participation throughout. So you need to pay close attention to modules. If there are activities embedded in the module, you'll want to not miss that. So you have to look through the module to make sure you're getting all of the activities. We do have an exam and a couple of papers. So the 2 papers are how to explain autism spectrum disorder in 1 to 2 pages to someone outside of education. And then there's another perspectives paper that you'll have to complete based on completing an AIMS module from Autism in the Classroom. So you have these choices. You'll go on to your doodle to select the one that you're going to complete, and then you're going to share that with each other, and that way you guys can all get a sprinkling of different topics. More to that will come. All right, and so with that, you are going to complete it. you have to submit your pre-assessment and your post-assessment and write a paper discussing what you learned about the practice in the module. You will also have to create a 5-minute presentation that you'll be sharing with your peers. Now, in terms of field experience for this course, you have 2 big projects, really. We're going to be working through the Ziggurat process for assessing and planning for students on the autism spectrum. So that is actually what we might have called your self-selected. It's on the matrix for your self-selected field experience, and you don't actually get to select it this semester. You have to do this one, but it's going to fulfill part of what's required in total from the program for the endorsement. And then the second part of your field experience is going to be inquiry and application. So you are going to be observing classrooms that have specific instructional strategy. So you can choose your instructional strategy here, and then I want you to go into a classroom and observe a teacher using that strategy, and you are going to observe, and then you are going to interview the teacher and the student independent of each other, and find out more about how they feel about the strategy, etc. There are some suggestions here. It's just for gathering information of different perspectives on the use of the strategy. Now, some students may not have great communication skills, but I think that you can come up with some way to ask them a couple of questions, whether it's using visuals or some kind of speech output device or a signal, or perhaps the student is able to communicate if you give them a survey or you read the survey to them, or just had a conversation with them. So I want you to get student impression somehow. So you'll be thinking about that. All right, and then you're just going to be writing commentary on that. And if you are unable to get into a school to do this observation of the strategy and talk to the teacher and the student to get their perspective, then you will be able to do a couple of specific AIM modules I would like for you to look at: discrete trial training and response interruption or redirection, and complete this. Okay, so there you have it. Here's a tentative schedule. You can see we hit it kind of the ground running pretty quickly right away. Weeks 2, 3, and 4 are most dense weeks, so just be ready for that. But then I think it really starts to become a little bit more project-based for you, and so it will be less time sitting on the computer looking through stuff, and more about you getting your field experience projects done, and some self-paced type learning. That's when all the stuff gets turned in at the end. All right, so just be ready to hit the ground running, but knowing that we've got to get all the information in the first half of the 8 weeks, and then after that you have the information so you can go out and do the fun stuff. Okay, so also don't forget that at the end of your syllabus there are rubrics, so it's important that you look through these and you know what's being expected to you and how I'll be grading. So I think that's going to make things a lot better for you and easier. I'll be sending announcements in every week, so trying to keep you guys up to date and current on what we're doing. So I'm sure we'll be fine, and it's going to be a great turning point in your ability to be an autism advisor. Okay? Have a great time. Bye.